Cheer, what up everybody? My name is Ryan Lovins. I am a graffiti artist with over 23 years of experience. I've been asked a lot of times on social media if I've ever thought of doing some sort of tutorial or things like that for hand styles. That's something I pride myself on. And I figured 2022 is the year to do it. I've kind of pushed the art aside for too many years while I was chasing the music dream and things like that. And over the last year or so, I've really got grounded with my art again and my graffiti. And I thought this is the year to kind of do something like this. So I'm going to get amongst it. I have a clothing label called Broke Artist. I'd love you guys to support that. Please go and like and follow and subscribe and all of those things like that. But yeah, pretty much the gist of this, we're going to do a series of the alphabet. I will do hand styles, throw ups and pieces. I will do it from beginner to advanced. And my plan is to kind of, on each one, I will do 5 letters. So I'll do 5 lowercase and 5 uppercase letters. And then, yeah, I'll walk you through it. The first time I'll do it at my own speed and my own pace. And the second time I will show you how I do it, how I motion the pen and things like that, just to give you a rough idea of how it works. A lot of the hand styles that I do, they do involve chisel tip markers. And I realize that that's probably more of an advanced thing right now. So for these first couple videos, we'll just be using bullet tip point pens, just so we get the basic letter structures and things like that. Yeah, I've done a lot of graffiti logos for people. I've done a lot of canvases, a lot of walls over the years. And yeah, that's just some stuff that I would love to share with you guys. I will show you a lot of my art as we go through this series. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of just pass on some of the knowledge that I have. And I learned I never had anything kind of like this growing up. So yeah, it'd be cool if I learned how to tag through someone on YouTube, you know what I mean? But a lot of the stuff that I learned was just trial and error. A lot of it was hard work. I've put 23 years in, you know what I mean? Like some people see you on these pages and are like, oh shit, where did you come from? You're dope. It's like, bro, this is 23 years of work. This is, you know what I mean? It's muscle memory, a lot of it. I took probably about 8 years off of graffiti while I was chasing the music dream. And once I came back, I just found I had a way better knowledge of letter structures and things like that. Things were working a lot better for me. And yeah, I progressed very quickly. I started making my own styles and things like that, which I'll walk you through into these videos. But yeah, I just pretty much wanted to start a little series. Yeah, pretty much just doing something I love, and I hope this will help you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Please support Broke Artist Clothing and everything. Go and follow on social media and all of that. I've been doing a lot of content with pieces on walls and time-lapse videos and things like that. I really love calligraphy and things along those lines, so we will get into some of that stuff as well. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I hope this teaches some of you guys things. Please support these, share these videos, and let's get it out there. Much love. Let's get into it. Hey. All right, fam, what's up? All right, let's get into it. So we're going to start off with just a basic kind of handwriting A, lowercase. I'm sure you've all seen something similar to this. All right, but we're going to add a little bit of flicks and stuff just to give it a little bit more love. All right, sure you guys can see that. So that's the first one we're going to do right there. I will go through the whole alphabet as we go through the series. And then another basic A that I was thinking just to start, pretty simple. I'm going to try to keep some of these pretty simple for you guys. This one here, pretty much you just want like a little kind of circly thing there. Straight up, boom, boom. That right there, it's got a little bit of flair, a little bit of style, but it's pretty simple, you know what I mean? So that's the second one there we're going to do. The next one is kind of a calligraphy style. It's my own kind of steez of calligraphy. And yeah, we'll run through that as we go through the series, but I just wanted to add something like that in here. So that one's going to be a little something like this. So something like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, as you get more progressive into that style, you start adding all the flicks and the flares, and it gives it a lot more, I guess, style at the end of it all, you know what I mean? All right, so another one is, this is kind of more one of my go-to A's when I'm doing stuff. I have a different formula that I'm going to show you guys right this second, but we'll get into the more technical one later on. But this one's pretty much just kind of a squared out A. I guess it's kind of like a LA Cholo style influenced A. You can add little flicks up, whatever, but I like that style A. That goes with a lot of different things, and it always looks pretty good in the mix, so I like doing that. And okay, and the last one we're going to do is yeah, more of a kind of a roundish A, because we've got a lot of sharp pointy ones, so I thought I'd add a little round one in there. So this one we're going to kind of round it out, and then something like that, you know what I mean? It's not the best one, obviously, but that's just a starter, so we'll roll through it. But yeah, that one there, that's got a lot of different variation that you could get going on, you know, like add little bits and things and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I like A's like that. So that's the 5th one we're going to do. So the next process of this is I'm just kind of going to run you through pretty much the formula and the flow of how I do these kind of letters, just to give you a bit more understanding on how it goes. A lot of these I would do with like a calligraphy marker, which I will show you kind of some of these just real quick, if I can find one handy. Yeah. Right, so, you know, like this kind of thing. It looks better with a calligraphy marker, but we'll get into some of that stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, these ones always definitely kind of, you know what I mean? So we'll get into all of this later on. I'm going to do a video that kind of explains more the calligraphy marker styles and things like that. But yeah, that A I like a lot, because that can transfer into a capital or a lowercase a. I'm not one of those guys that's really strict on, you know, keeping everything all lowercase or all capital letters or whatever like that. I really just mix in whatever letters feel the best for what I'm trying to do. I also want to add into this that I'm going to have different tiers on Patreon where I will do one-on-one coaching sessions with people. I will develop you your own style of tagging, throw-ups, and pieces. I will coach you through it. We'll do video calls and things like that. I'm slowly working on how I'm going to do that part of it, but just know that that's the next stage of this, that like this will just give you a kind of a basic understanding of the letter structures and things like that. But if you really want to develop your own style and stuff from this stuff, I will do one-on-one coaching with you, and we'll get it right. It'll be cheap, like $5 or $10 a month or something like that. We'll do a few video calls a month, or one every couple of weeks or something, for like 20 minutes or whatever like that, just to run through the problems you're having, what you want practice and help flowing and things like that. So yeah, that's the next stage of this. So back to these letters right here. So this next stage right here, I'm going to kind of just run you through with a pencil, just kind of the, I guess, the flow of how these would be done. So this A here, I'm always going to start at this top line here, and I'm going to work that flow all the way down. So you just want to get a good practice and rhythm into that kind of stuff, because a lot of handwriting and stuff, all that is that same flow with that flick at the end. And you just want to kind of make sure that those angles are always parallel, and that's what gives it a good look, you know what I mean? So with that one, boom, boom. And then you just kind of want to make sure that your angles are always flowing. So I'll bring back this paper right here. A good practice thing with those kind of A's is you could just flow it into itself a bunch of times, you know what I mean? Until you get that rhythm of just how you want it to look and things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, you know what I mean? That all just comes with practice and just kind of practicing your hand movements and how you want things to look. Like when I do hand styling and scripty kind of stuff, it's a little bit more technical than that, because I like to add a lot of flicks and the swooshes and things like that. And it just, with the practice, is when you learn where to put those and where's a good spot to put them and where's not, you know what I mean? But basically that's probably the simplest letter form. I'm sure you've all learned that through school and handwriting and things like that. But really, it's just kind of the main focus there is just having those swooshes and kicks out, all kind of the angles hitting the same way. And then you just throw these little flicks in and little things like that just to give it character, you know. But yeah, that one's pretty simple. I mean, we'll go through that alphabet as we go, and you'll slowly develop your own little style in that. All right, so this next one here, we're going to get into this one. This one pretty much is kind of an oval just on a bit of an angle, and you want to just kind of hit that long oval shape right there, and then pretty much just straight up, and it's almost like a 7 with a little bit of a kick in and then up. Boom. Right there, that's a pretty good stylish like little start to a letter structure and things like that. You could add little lines like that, but you could get into that a bit later. You just want to kind of find the basics of the letter shapes. So yeah, pretty much it's just finding that oval shape that you like, throwing it up. It's almost kind of a 7 shape, you know what I mean? And then flicking it through. That's a cool style letter, you know what I mean? And you could develop that into a bunch of different tags. You could do that into one line tags as well. All right, next we're going to get into kind of the Calligraphy A. The Calligraphy A, these are hard to do with kind of like a ballpoint or whatever, but you get the kind of basic formula. With these ones, it's all about these little flicks too. So those little sharp points are what really give it a proper look. You know what I mean? When you see how I do it with the Calligraphy pen, see how it gives it those little flows and things like that? Like I wasn't trying too hard there, but that's what makes it, is just all of those little lines and stuff like that just looking the part, you know? So with that one, I'll come all the way down and I'd flick it in that way just for the reason, you know. Give it a nice little line down, up, boom. And yeah, I find with this calligraphy style, a lot of it just comes down to practicing simple motions, like straight up these kind of simple motions. Thin, thick, thick, you know? Thin to thick to thin. Those kind of motions, that's all calligraphy is, a lot of it. Like once you have letter shapes, this is what makes it or breaks it, you know what I mean? A lot of these lines, all of these lines, the top, middle, and these bottom lines are all that same kind of swish and flick. So once you find that, that's when you're in the money, you know what I mean? But yeah, we'll get into that at a later point. We'll get into just full on how you hold the calligraphy chisel tip pen and things like that. I may get into some of the fountain dip pens that I use as well. I really enjoy some of those. I'll try to find one that I can show you if I can somewhere, but nah. These are really cool too. These are kind of pilot pens. I use this and I dip this into ink. So this is, you know, if you can see that, that's kind of like a razor blade, a little razor blade on the end of a pen. And these are really handy, but you need to know how to use a calligraphy or a chisel tip really well to kind of get the understanding of how to use that. All right, we're going to get back to this one right here. Yeah, like I was saying before, this letter shape is kind of used in a lot of my styles. Just I've do it in a little bit different way than I'm showing you guys right now, because I just wanted to keep it simple. A lot of these lowercase a's as well, you'll notice the trend. A lot of them have kind of a 7 shape to them, you know what I mean? So if that helps you build the structure of that, then by all means go for it. So this is kind of like a 7 with a little line on it, boom. And then a little bit of like a triangle, you know, a little bit of a kicker there, boom. So I would add some little flicks and things like that, maybe an X, or you know what I mean, just to give it a bit more style and funk. But yeah, that one's pretty self-explanatory. I think you could build a lot of stuff off of that kind of style if you're trying to keep things simple and readable. That's one that I would always go for. Now we'll move on to this one. This one right here, this is the rounder shaped A, just because I thought we had too many sharp ones. And I'm kind of just throwing this together as I go, so needed something round in there. This one, it's kind of a rounder 7, you know what I mean? I always have a little line there, round, and then you're kind of just going to loop it around with yourself, you know? You could bring it a lot lower as well. You could bring this and have it touch at that bottom, and that's going to give it a cool look, you know? And you could have that part touching as well. Like hand styles and things like that are pretty much just whatever you feel, you know? So whatever you feel looks the best. Don't worry about other people, man. But unless you're doing a bunch of weird shit like waggy stuff and X's and stars and arrows that you don't understand how to use, then it kind of looks a bit wonky, you know? But that A shape right there is really dope, and I think you could use that for a lot of different stuff, to be honest. Boom. Like that's a sick A, capital or lowercase, to be honest, you know? But anyways, that's the start of this, the lowercase A's. I hope this has kind of helped you get an understanding of how some of this works. I do plan on going a bit more into detail on how to use pens properly and things like that. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little something to learn to start with. And yeah, this is going to get more advanced and more technical. If you really are serious about this and you want to develop a mean graffiti hand styles, then please DM me. We will sort out the Patreon. We will work out how this is going to work. I will do one-on-one video calls with people, helping them build their styles and things like that. I will help you develop your own style. I'll give you a hand style and let you practice it, and we'll work on it together and things like that. But yeah, so this is only the start. I will come back with some capital A's in a minute. But I hope you enjoyed this. I am Ryan Lovins from Broke Artists. Stay tuned. What up?